fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. All right, welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV. Tonight, it's the RGR ACS truck, or no, not the truck series, the Xfinity Series, my bad. It is Sunday night. We're at Kansas for the Kansas 160. I'm Dean Doucette, joined tonight by Mr. Adam Newton, the Bulldog himself in the booth. Bulldog, what are we feeling about Kansas tonight?
I think it's going to be a quite interesting race. It's going to be whoever can get out in that clean air first. Dean.
Yeah, most definitely, right? Clean air going to be king. I'd say track position, maybe even over clean air, but it's going to be one of these high-line races. Do you expect these guys to be able to run the bottom here tonight, Adam?
Just with the practice, with the setup, I think it might be some guys that test it out. Between that and managing your tires, looks like pit stops could go about 38, 39 laps. I think it's going to come down to whoever takes care of their equipment the best.
Yeah, and that's generally the way here at RGR. Long runs, green flag racing, you know, who manages their stuff along with track position. So it's going to be an interesting race, no doubt. Of course, you look back 1 week ago, and I believe I might have to look it up again here to see who won that race.
Ward.
Jeff Ward, that's right, over Bryce Reiner. You, Adam, were actually third in that race. So, I mean, Ward, when he's on, boy, he is tough, isn't he?
For sure. He's shown that he's got talent at all the stuff that RGR brings to the table, for sure.
Let's take a look in on our championship standings here. That's if they would come up. I am not seeing them currently, so we'll just have to delay that a second as well. Try and pull that up for you. Here we go. So Greg Ratliff, now this is officially updated standings here. Ratliff with a substantial lead here in the main full season standings. It's Ripka second, Leal third, Wrecker in fourth, Darren Bruce fifth. You, Newton, are in sixth position, but in the booth, I don't think you're going to make up too much ground tonight. Let's take a look in on our second half points, where there are only 7 races in, and it's Ripka leading that. Hard to see, I know, but 269 points to George Leal's 253. I did not see Leal out on the track, so Greg Ratliff, that's going to be an opportunity for him to move forward here.
Yeah, George is out there keeping them in their thoughts and prayers, trying to get people connected back on the power in Virginia right now, and I know there's a lot of guys out there trying to get the folks back up and running, and our thoughts were with these people that are affected right now.
Absolutely. Wind Tunnel TV always supports all those people doing what's right in this world and helping others out there. George and others over at RGR Racing. I mean, these are some of the best people out there. They're willing to help, and they always do. So that's why we love them, Adam. And we always talk about it. You know, iRacing's a community, man, and it's hard to find, and it's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. They're in your time of need. Anytime, you know, something happens, whether it's good or bad, they're there.
Yeah, they absolutely are there. Let's figure out who's there as far as up front here tonight. The starting grid. Greg Ratliff will start on the point with a time of 36.76. It's Adam Wrecker on the outside of row number 1. In row number 2, you've got Eric Beller along with TJ Bartel. Row number 3 will be Sheffield and Helm. Row 4, Ripka A Bear. It's Williams in ninth with Hunt starting 10th. Bernard Personal start on the inside of row number 6 along with Bryce Reiner on the outside. A little further back, you got Spear and Whitford, Gilly, Travis, Tony Ratliff, Jason Ratliff, Jason Jackson, Jacob Musial, your top 20, and you can find your other favorite driver farther down in the standings here where, guys are going to have some work to do here tonight, including Ward, Newton.
Yeah, but sometimes, some of those guys, and it's a strategic thing. There's a bonus point for most past cars. And to be able to make some points up on these guys, some guys take that chance and start back there to try to get that extra point, which comes in handy when you try to race for the championship.
Well, I mean, that's a great point. Maybe some of these guys are doing just that. Right now, pace car off the track. Ratliff leading them down with Wrecker on the outside. Here we go. Green flag racing in the Kansas 160. Good start. Beller already pressuring. I think that's Sheffield putting pressure on Wrecker as well, as that bottom line temporarily will be okay to race. So these guys are going to try and take advantage of it.
Yeah, Greg got a great restart, and he shot out to a couple car length lead over Adam Wrecker right now, and it looks like everybody is just trying to find their rhythm and getting a little spot. It seems like the high line is still going to be the best place to be in this race.
It always is, Adam. The guys get out and practice. They think the low line will work. Then they find a row of cars during the race. On the high side, you can't extend as much. The high line usually works a little better.
It does, and I mean, the high line does chew up the tire a little bit more. I think if you find a guy or lady that can back up the corner, try to ride that low line for a little while, maybe save a couple % on the tire, they might end up coming up there in the long run.
Oh, absolutely. We've seen it done, right? You have to commit to the bottom and run it over and over again, and in such a way where you don't burn your stuff up. You might have a good late run. Right now, though, Beller ripping the wall. This isn't the first time we've seen this, Adam.
No, the other thing I was noticing was Claus. He's ripping the wall as well to try to get by TJ, and TJ has come on strong here recently, being a newcomer to the league. We've raced with him in the past, and he's always been consistent in his driving and whatnot, but he's shown a lot of promise the last couple of races.
Oh, absolutely. Don't sleep on TJ Bartel. Don't sleep on Williams, who's battling there. You got A Bear in the mix as well. Helm a little further back. That's Reiner underneath of him, and Bernard Person back there. Check in up front. It's Greg Ratliff. You talked about it. Clean air. Looks like it's still king out here, doesn't it?
Absolutely. He's just kind of checked himself out a little bit, but Adam seems to have found his own pace riding that low line. He's trying to match his line a little bit, but I see Wrecker has been creeping up in the picture.
Yeah, and Wrecker is always someone, ooh, big push a little further back. A Bear all over the back of TJ Bartel. They got a little wobble there. He was pushing them so hard down the inside.
Yeah, they're starting to stack up right here. I think that what I've been seeing, it looks like Eric is getting a little bit tight. And when he comes down, the guys behind him really can't use the run that they're getting off the turn two right now.
Yeah, and that's really Kansas in a nutshell. You can get a run, but can you use it? I don't know. Right now, Ripka looking underneath a Beller. Beller right to the wall. Ripka right to the white line. They come out of the corner, and of course they meet, but Beller will have a bigger head of steam, and around he goes.
Yeah, the one I really have my eye on right now is Brandon Sheffield. He's one of those guys that quietly creeps up in the picture, and he will sting you at the end. You got to keep an eye on him.
Well, we just seen him not so quietly put a hurting on the field in his last race, so definitely the 36, someone to watch.
Yeah, I've been paying attention to Bernard Person as well. He's been slowly, methodically working his way through traffic. It looks like he's got a pretty strong car as well.
Yeah, I think Bernie, you like him a little looser. These said a little too tight for him, perhaps. We're going to find out. Just ahead of him, A Bear still battling with TJ Bartel. Bartel dives it in on the bottom, and you can see there, you can get a really good entrance on the bottom, but can you get an exit?
And with the way the car was driving to me, I think, especially being in lap 8 of the race, I think pushing it this hard, you're really going to pay the price. I mean, a little bit later on, I mean, you have to make it at least 35 laps, at least a minimum, to try to stretch it on a 3 pit stop race.
Yeah, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't done the math, don't crucify me, but I think it's 36, 36, 35 is generally what guys will do out here. And that's going to be right around the fuel mileage of this place as well. Adam, is there any advantage fuel mileage-wise riding the bottom?
Yeah, because you're re-rolling the center a little bit more, and you're saving that right front a little bit. But I'm not sure what Brandon's doing right now, but he's let 3 guys go past him. I'm wondering if he's doing the old trick of, hey, let me ride for 10 or 12 laps and then let me come on real strong.
The old okey doke. We might have stifled Adam with the okey doke there. Out front, we got Greg Ratliff and Adam Recker. And I got to tell you, I've been very impressed. I've been talking up Recker for a few weeks. Number one, I love that paint job, Adam. That Columbia paint job is off the hook. Great paint job. But Adam has been running really good lately. And I mean, probably always, to be fair, but I think just a slight bit better lately.
Yeah, he's definitely been a lot more competitive, and I race around him quite a bit. I know he's got the speed and the talent to get it done. He just has to put it all together in one race.
Speaking of putting it all together, we look a little further back here to third with Ripka, and on the outside, Beller hits the wall, so Ripka and Williams come through. Now, Ripka's always steady. Williams loves the high line at almost every track. Is this advantage to Williams here?
Too early to say right now. I'm watching Brian Helm right now. He is finally caught up to the back of Bernie. And I'm watching Rachel Hunt. I think the people that didn't take off so fast are now starting to really shine. And I think you'll really see it by lap 25.
I think you're right. I think that's a great observation. But I did like Claus. Claus did something I've been professing lately. If they can't pass on the bottom, let's take to the high side on them, kind of shock them that you would go up there on them, even though there's not a whole lot of room. That's what Williams did. He got position, and now he has taken that position away from Lewis. So put Claus Williams up 6 spots into third place.
Yeah, he's done a job. He's come through the field as well, slowly and methodically. But Lance, the buckshot, when he's got his pellets in his shell, he can be deadly as well. He likes to ride and save his equipment.
Right now, we're going to hop on board with Paul K. Travis here and have a look at what he's dealing with. He's in a bit of a mess here, Adam.
I'll be keeping an eye on that too. Yeah.
I mean, he's on the high side where you want to be. You see TJ come up a little bit, gets a little touch on the 4 of Beller. I don't know if he's just trying to open up some room there or what, but he heads right to the bottom. But you see this line above him, such momentum. TJ in a world of hurt down here at this stage in this run.
Yeah, and another car like we were talking about, Wrecker is just, man, he is staying with the big dog Ratliff. He is staying with him.
Travis into the wall. So Paul K. Travis touches the wall. That'll slow him up. He'll lose a spot or two. Up to Wrecker that you were talking about.
Yeah, he got the 42 in the wall as well as Derek Whitford. He's lost 5 positions hitting the wall over 4 right now.
All right, so Whitford falls back to 21st. That's a big blow to that 42 machine, and you're going to see that tonight, aren't you? Lots of people hitting the wall.
Well, that, and I was just watching Todd Gilly, the Toad man. He really had to hang on his car on the exit of two. The car just about come completely around on him. I think the guys running that lower line now are just pushing it too hard. We got Bernie Person coming into pit road right now.
Yeah, and this could be retirement. Bernie doesn't look too happy in that machine. I think that car is pulling over for the night. Out front, Greg Ratliff is leading the way. Wrecker staying right there. He's had the same gap for a long time. I mean, they're both really running 32 2.5s, more or less, Adam.
Yeah, and we had Mickey Spear come in. He hit the wall as well. He's on pit road as we're talking.
All right, so Mickey into the wall. Claus Williams, fastest man on the track last time by. You got Sheffield just put down a 16 this lap, and Reiner with a 1.3. So that's a 32.13 for Reiner. So Reiner's starting to move forward, and that seems to be his MO.
Yeah, and we just had Paul K. Travis hit the wall coming out of two again. He's really, he's in the wall again in three. He's struggling with his car quite badly right now.
He is, and Ward's going to roll right up on him. That was dangerous. He's got Tony Ratliff with him. They're going to go by Paul K. Travis here. There's Edward Kane in the 21 machine. Let's see if we can get a close-up on this paint job here. Pretty hard to get a good look at it, but I like it. Sharp, got a little pink going out there.
He is definitely colorful with his scheme.
No doubt about it. Nothing wrong with pink now, Adam. You got to be secure in your manliness here.
Oh, absolutely. I ran a rainbow-colored car last year.
That you did. Yeah, I think we made note of that up here because of the children that we are in the booth. Nonetheless, Greg Ratliff leading. Wrecker in second. Claus Williams up in third place. He's up 6 spots. Ripka in fourth. He's up 3. You got Sheffield in 5th. Abear in 6th. Reiner, he's on the move. He's up 5 spots. And Helm and Bartel have hemorrhaged some spots. And I think, for the most part of what I've seen, it's kind of, if you get trapped on the low line and there's a line of cars, you're going back to the back of that line, Adam.
Yeah, you're definitely going back. But, you were talking about Claus running the high line. He has really made up some ground on Wrecker and Ratliff right now. Big Dog's going to have to pull some out of his hat if he's going to keep that lead.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Claus for this. He's a notorious highline runner, meaning he's got all the experience. He knows how to get it done and done right. You see him ripping the wall right now. He's doing a great job, and he is faster than the 2 leaders. It's not by a whole lot, but he's consistently faster.
Yeah, one other car I keep watching just
I
in
know
the
where
background.
you're going.
Yeah, Brandon is starting to pour the coals on.
He is so, and he's down low right now. This is the thing. How much will this hurt him, right? He's trying to work on Ripka. He's trying to pass low. Nearly impossible to do here at Kansas at this stage of a run, lap 24.
Yeah, I just see that Bernie is retired for the night. Hope that and nothing too serious.
No, I really think that, certain people don't like the car on a certain night. And, we've seen it kind of from Paul K. hitting the wall a couple times, too. Sometimes I just don't agree with you, Adam.
Yeah.
See the Toad man. He's battling with Edward Kane here. These two going at it. Looks like Gilly going to take that spot away. So the Toad man, he is up to 18th position. Back up front, still Ratliff.
Yeah, someone else is really moving forward, and she's really been knocking down some consistent finishes here. Rachel Hunt is moving forward as well.
Yeah, Rachel seemed to have found her way. Rachel a little hot and cold, but when she gets hot, boy, she can race with anybody at her.
Oh, absolutely, and she's putting on a great performance right now, trying to get around Helm.
Yeah, and she's riding the low line, so she's doing a nice job wrapping the bottom here, showing, the It can be done. I mean, it's just an art form here. You see the one sending in a little deeper than the 46, and she's going to clear them. So Rachel Hunt making moves on the bottom. Very impressive.
Absolutely, and the people that I was suspecting that were saving a little bit of tire, they're really starting to make their way to the front. But here in say 8 laps, we're going to see who's going to try to do the short pit and keep their car in that clean there.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, we are approaching pit stops now. So this is where we've seen various people, including yourself, I might add, Adam, during the season at different times. It's been different people with these great pit stops, and it can bring you to victory lane, can it?
Oh, and it can also bring you to the back too.
Oh, there's that too, for sure.
Oh, I mean, this pit road is probably one of the tougher pit roads because the cone comes up on you so quick when you get down to the apron. So you have to be on your A game to get on and get off of this pit road.
So a little bit of status quo outside of, I don't know, there's a few people seemingly on the move. I think Hunt is one of them. She is now up one spot, but she's making all her hay late in this run. Run is almost over, though. Right behind her, how about Jason Ratliff and Jeff Ward? Ratliff's up 8 spots. Ward's up 15 spots, Adam.
Yeah, and I've been watching Jason. Jason's been kind of sticking down to the...
Oh, no, and they're wrecking. It's Helm along with Ward getting to each other. And, of course, Jason Spear gets collected. Beller gets collected. Oh, mercy.
Oh, no. I hate to see that because they were both moving forward. It doesn't look like it's too much damage on Brian's car.
I'm not sure what happened there. If Helm come up or if Ward thought he wasn't there. I don't. Looks like it's very odd looking.
Yeah, it was some space in between them. It looked like it was net code. And that's been...
Well, I can't call this netcode, and I refuse to call this netcode. This is one guy turning in and the other not turning in, and just unexpected collision there by the both of them. Of course, Beller and Spear probably catch the worst of that. It's nothing too drastic for anybody, but pit stops are now commencing.
Yeah, it kind of looked like Ward got it in his rear, but it's not too terrible.
I mean, that's kind of what it looks like, but I got to refrain from making judgment on air too often, unless it's obvious, because you just don't know when you're not in the car, do you, Adam?
Yeah, it's a tough situation to call being that close together. In my opinion, it's just a racing incident, but hopefully guys ain't tore up too bad.
Yeah, I think everybody's going to be all right. We're going to re-rack them here. Big race off of pit road. This does eliminate that green flag stop we said was so important. But how about Williams? Williams slides up in front of Wrecker. So Wrecker loses 1, maybe 2 spots. Looks like Sheffield might have beat him off of pit road too.
Well, that, and then I think some other guys that have hit the wall are going to get their damage fixed as well. I see Eric Miller still on pit road as well as Brian Helm.
Yeah, they're both coming off now. They obviously stayed a little longer. Whitford, Jackson coming off. It looks like Paul Kay still sitting there.
Yeah, I think those guys, from what I was seeing time-wise, I don't think they were hurt too bad.
Definitely not. There's not a lot of damage, but it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt them. The guys look forward to these green flag stops and playing their strategy. This kills the strategy, and what it really does now, Adam, is because you're talking about trying to do 36, 36, 35. Well, it's only lap 32 right now. These guys are going to have to stretch this if they want to go one stop from here.
Well, I like this. What I'm seeing right here, some guys are coming back on the pit road to get top off the fuel tank, because now you're really put into a gas mileage race.
Right. You got Mickey Spear, Brian Helm, Jason Jackson. I expect others to hit pit road as well this time around for a little top up. I mean, I think it's just wise to try to do that at this point if you're at the back in particular.
Oh, anywhere from 10th on back, I'd be in pit road topping off. No doubt.
Absolutely. And then you got to think about do I run the bottom even though I'm getting passed just so I can make it on fuel mileage, Adam?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So interesting things abound here. It's still Ratliff out front. Williams with a great pit stop. He's now up 7 spots into second. Sheffield always solid on pit road. He slips into third. Wrecker, he falls out. He falls back to fourth now. We'll see how he recoups from that. You got Ripken in fifth. It's Bartel, Reiner, Hunt, Abear, and Spear, your top 10. So Spear was involved in that wreck too, so it didn't hurt him too bad here in 10th position.
No, I think he just had a light little bit of damage from what I see him time-wise.
And Ward barely got anything out of that. I mean, unbelievable. See if we look on Helm's car and see, I don't see really much damage for him either. So a lot of guys came out of that pretty unscathed. So Ratliff going to start on the bottom. Williams up high. Sheffield and Wrecker behind. What do you want to do here if you're on the bottom, Adam?
If I'm Ratliff, I'm going to get the best start I can to get away from Claus. And if I was Greg right now, I think I would take Claus's line away from him and try to force him down to the bottom.
Well, how can he do that from the bottom?
No, if he gets a good restart, run Claus's line
gotcha.
to
my
make
bad.
him come to the bottom.
You're right. That's on me, Adam. No, the leader is Greg Ratliff.
It's okay.
So right.
It's been a long day for you.
It's been a long day on Sunday. No Lions football to speak of. So here we go. Lap 33. We're back. Green flag racing. The 5 gets a great start. Does not move up the track though. He's going to stay to the bottom, and I think you're going to see Greg Ratliff and some others kind of know the fuel mileage situation. I think they're going to run that bottom a little longer than they did the first run.
Yeah, that was a power move that Brandon did, but here comes Claus right back on the bottom. Says, "Hey, wait a minute, I'm running for this as well."
Absolutely. I mean, Sheffield's going to do everything he can to hold that spot or get first, and he is absolutely flying. What a run by the 36. Trying to edge to the outside of the 5. The 5 shuts the door.
Yeah, he had a monster run off turn 4 right then.
He really did, but he takes to the bottom right away. You see him all fanning out. Contact at the back. We got a wreck. Kulikowski and others involved. We stay green flag racing. So those guys are in big trouble back there. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, Eric, Jason, and Adam, they all were in the fence just then. Looks like Eric's going to have to come to pit road, though.
Williams takes to the high side on Sheffield. So Sheffield got Williams, but Williams now with the preferred line. Can he hold off the 36? The answer is absolutely yes. Is Sheffield backing out for fuel mileage? Who knows? We've seen him back out and run 1. That was purely for tires. Adam, is he doing it again?
Yeah, I think he wanted to test the water and see where his car was, but I mean, we still got some newcomers coming up here. Rachel's coming up here quick. TJ's up here, and the 14 of
Reiner.
Bryce Reiner is coming up there as well.
Yeah, these 3 looking good. Bartel, Reiner, and Hunt right there. There's Bear and Tony Ratliff creeping into the picture. They're bringing Eric Whiting up 18 spots right now. He's our big mover, so the 13 making headway.
Yeah, I think Claus is going to end up taking the lead here in the next lap. I'll tell you the way he's coming off the corner, he's just getting too big of a run on Greg.
So Claus down to the bottom. The 5 up high, almost hitting the wall. He is wrapping that thing. He'll get a big run. He'll hold off Claus Williams.
Yeah, I was wondering if he was going to take that line away, and I think that's just the best option right now.
It is, but look at the 16 surge. He's got a hair length. He can slip up there. It's not enough. He would wreck on his nose if he went up there that time. Can he do something in this turn? He's got the room. Can he slide job it up there? He
I think
will,
he's done
but
it.
here
Yeah.
comes the 5 with the crossover. Yes, the 5 will take to the bottom, so Ratliff with a big run down into 1. Williams surges forward here in the early part of the corner. You can see that rear end dog walking out there.
And see, if I'm Adam Wrecker, I'm licking my chops right now. Seeing the big dog and Williams sitting there running like this, I'm going to save some tire and come right up to this and then try to pass them both.
Well, that's a great point. That's exactly what he's doing, too, Adam. I mean, he's no dumb racer. He's sitting there. You guys just work each other over. It's a long race.
Yeah, it's way too soon to be running this hard. And see, he keeps inching car by car closer and closer to this.
Without doing anything, right, Adam? I mean, he's just running.
Absolutely.
Look at the 16. Puts her up right to the wall. That's how you have to do it. You get a little bonus almost the closer you get to that wall. Great
Looks
one.
like Claude is going to take him on this one.
Oh, he's definitely going to take him. Klaus Williams going to be the leader here. No doubt about it. The 16 with a masterclass on that high line. He takes the lead, and he takes it by about 5 car lengths over Greg Ratliff. So great job by him. Can he withstand the whole run is the big question. And can Ratliff make a pass later in the run when it gets more difficult?
Yeah, and, you know, like you're saying, thinking that Brandon's saving some, the people that saved on that last run, here they come again. You got actually a couple newcomers mixing in this. Tony Ratliff is up in this picture, and now you got Jeff Ward coming up in the behind, and Rachel's just being the picture of consistency right now.
Well, that's what she is. And you see some of the other guys, like Tony Ratliff's a great example. We've seen flashes where Tony's the fastest man on the track. I mean, that's just a fact. Yeah, he's done that several times. The question is, can he put 107 laps together, Adam?
Yeah, and sometimes that's been the biggest challenge for Tony. He'll get caught up in a wreck and get a speeding penalty, but he's definitely got the talent to get up there at the race for the win. And we got Tom Lester in the mix now as well.
So Fred Lester in the 78. He falls in behind Jeff Ward. Jeff Ward back in 12th, so he's having trouble making headway here. We'll see how this all plays out during the long run. We're on lap 45 of 107 here in the Kansas 160. And I've been clicking my heels all night and ain't nothing happening here.
Man, you must not have your dress on. That's what it is.
Yeah, I definitely do not have my dress on. At least I'm clothed, unlike Baron Labosco at times.
But Barron's the exception to the rule.
So you got Sheffield, Ripka, Bartel, Reiner, and Hebert. Hebert is under heat from Hunt. Hunt on the high side, and she continues to have a decent race here. She's in 8th position, picking them off.
And somebody we hadn't talked about this whole race, Eric Whiting, is starting to get in the picture. He's made some good moves to get up here in the top 11.
I think it's kind of, a great thing that him and Tony are running together here because they're much alike. They show flashes, right? I keep waiting for Whiting in particular to break out and have that top 3, have that win. And he's right on the cusp there, Adam.
Oh yeah, and we know he's got the skill set to do it too.
Absolutely.
Heck of a nice guy, good driver, and he's got the skills. Just have to execute.
See some of these beautiful shots here at Kansas Motor Speedway. It's great when these cars fan out 2, 3, 4 wide, different lines, high line, low line. Gives some great visuals here. Right now, Ward working on Whiting. Lester in that mix. This is a battle for 11th place here. Looks like Whiting on the high side will prevail easily. He's
Now
up
that's
18 spots.
yeah, that second pack of cars being led by a Spear. They're starting to creep back in the picture. I think they're on the more conservative on the gas strategy right now because it's a group of about 7, 8 cars right now just staying real close to tail right now.
That's what I always say, Adam, is that like if you're gonna try a strategy or something, you got to commit to it, right? So if you're on a one stopper and you think everybody else on a two stopper, you don't have to race at all, except for other people on your strategy, right? I mean, there's
Oh,
no sense in
absolutely.
doing anything crazy here. Just save your gas and make sure you can make it.
And we know the Elder Spear is the king of gas mileage, so he's
Well,
got that locked down.
he definitely does, but I mean, we've seen an evolving driver over the course of a couple of seasons here, where he's been able to show some short run speed and stuff. So I don't know, where he lands here tonight, but it's going to be interesting to see. And he is falling here, so I think he's truly committing to this gas mileage now.
Well, I saw him and a couple level drivers. I think Paul K might be on that same strategy as well.
So now Ratliff has moved back up to the bumper of the 16, the Claus Williams. But he's on the low side. I just don't see how he's going to pass Claus in particular. Anybody who's on the high side, but Claus in particular gets into the corner on the high side better than almost anybody.
Yeah. Wow. Right now I'm watching the 36. I think he did what the strategy from that last run.
And that's the problem right there, right? Greg on the bottom, looking at Claus, fighting Claus. Well, here comes Sheffield. He'll rip it around the high side. Instead of gaining one, you're going to lose one here. Put Brandon Sheffield up into second place. So, and you see the closing speed by the 36. He had to check up there. He is much, much faster, and it's all because he let off for those 5 or 10 laps, Adam.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I'm looking at Wrecker right now. Wrecker is just his throttle on entry and rolling the corner. He's just letting the draft bring him into this mix, and I think he's probably going to be one of the first guys that will attempt to stretch it a little bit on the gas.
All right, interesting observation here. We're right on board with Adam Wrecker here. See what we can find out. He's got that wheel cocked a little to the left here. He's right in that middle line. Very interesting line for sure. Not putting too much strain, but you can still hear the tire wear, can't you, Adam?
Oh yes, and that's the biggest thing. He still got that smoothness on and off the exit.
Definitely does. Sheffield putting the heat on Claus Williams, right to the bumper on entry, trying to make Claus drive a little deeper than he wants. Claus, though, hooking it. Sheffield a touch higher on entry. And I'm getting choked up over it.
It's not every day you see a pass for the lead in here.
I guess not. So, here we go. Sheffield low. Williams high. And I'm telling you, Williams the toughest guy to get around if you're trying to pass him on the low side. He's just so good with how he does the high side. He doesn't allow you to do the slide job at all, Adam. Oh, and Sheffield catches the wall. Here comes the 5 of Greg Ratliff. He smells blood in the water.
I'll tell you one thing. If I was a shark, I'd be watching Bryce, because Bryce has really picked up the pace the last 4 laps.
All right, Bryce Reiner currently in 6th position. He's on the bottom right now underneath a Ripka. Nothing doing. TJ Bartel right there in the mix with Abear and Hunt as well. Sheffield does hold off Greg Ratliff. Greg's got to be careful that he doesn't give up that spot to Wrecker, and he does. He falls back in line. And that's kind of a Kansas thing, right? You got to rock that high side, especially late in the run. But the 5 still down low to middle of the track. Is this a gas mileage thing for the 5?
Well, right now I'm inside of Brandon Sheffield's car, and he's driving in deep, but he is really, really being very easy on the throttle. But he gets a monster run right back up to the back of Claus's car, and it sounds like Greg is doing the same thing as Brandon tries to make a move on Claus as we're speaking.
Yeah, you can see Claus protecting the high side, right? He's moved over, gave the bottom on the straightaway, and he's like, you can have it. I'll just keep ripping the top. You can't pass me, and he is correct. So Claus running a very smart race here. Sheffield might be faster, but he cannot get around him.
Yeah, and when I get in Claus's car, I kind of hear the throttle. He's driving in a lot deeper, and he's not really rolling it as much as the guys behind him.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what saves him from getting past, right? That entry part on the high line makes him so good. Probably also going to be worse on gas mileage, though.
Yeah, I think Jason Spear just had a issue as well. He just disconnected from the race.
Oh, that's a shame. So Jason Spear, again, no luck here for the 83 machine. He has been snake bit here for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, some of the guys I'm getting on right now with the big buckshot Ripka, he looks like Lance right now is really fighting.
And Claus hits the wall, comes down, hits the 36. Here comes the 5. The 36 is taken off the track. That little bump couldn't have done all that to him. He looks like he is messed up. Sheffield in a world of hurt. Unbelievable. Greg Ratliff now racing Adam Wrecker for the race lead. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, looking at Brandon's wheel, it was a pretty good lick.
That was a harder lick than I thought. Claus had hit the wall. Let's see if we can get a replay on this while this fight for the lead rages on. So you see here, Claus pounds the wall, comes down and hits the 36, and you can see it hop up in the air. That's the evidence you need to see right there. That's a broken wheel. Off he goes, and his night virtually over.
Yeah, when I got in Brandon's car, when he stopped in his pit stall, when he went to hit the brakes, you could tell the wheel is knocked out.
A weird little hop from that, like he broke, I don't even know. I'm not great with my car parts. Adam, you might have to help me out.
And what it does is it ends up messing up the linkage and the tie rods and the steering. But it seems like with this latest update that iRacing has done, it seems like the damage model is a lot more sensitive than what it has been in previous updates.
Well, it certainly looked like it in that case. Right now, we got Wrecker leading. How about that? Adam Wrecker in the Columbia machine is taken to the front. It's Greg Ratliff second. On the high side, Williams and Reiner are coming, and they're coming in a hurry. Reiner trying to get to the outside of Williams, can't do it. Williams closes that door. These two are going to come up here and drive right around the 5 of Ratliff if he's not careful.
And I'm kind of, going away from that. As hard as Claus hit the wall, I went looking around his car. It doesn't really look like Claus has any damage.
No, it's like putting your hand flat on a table, Adam. You can hit it as hard as you want. You won't feel it. That energy transferred to the table. All the energy was transferred to Brandon Sheffield, unfortunately for Brandon.
Well, that other guy I was talking about, the newcomer Bryce, he's really making a run right now. He has caught those front runners.
I tell you, Bryce Reiner up 8 spots on the night, looking super strong here right now, but he's got 3 tough competitors in front of him and lots behind him. It's Abear in 5th, Ripka 6th, TJ Bartel on the bottom, and don't sleep on Jeff Ward. He's up 18 spots.
Yeah, Jeff has been slowly making up ground. I don't know if he has, still a little bit of damage from that earlier wreck or not, but he's really come on strong here in the last 5 to 10 laps.
So we're at lap 67 of 107. 40 laps remaining at the line. Oh, and Wrecker's in the wall. He's wobbling. Greg Ratliff trying to take to the high side on him. Here comes Reiner down low. They go 3 wide down into the corner. It's Bryce Reiner to the front. Here comes Ratliff trying to rip the high side. Wrecker will fall to third. So Wrecker and Williams have made unforced errors, allowing Bryce Reiner now to come to the front.
Yeah, and then that same stretch, Aber hit the wall as well.
And that's what happens here, especially late in the run. There's a little bit of a dip here or bumps or whatever at the exits. Entrance into one, exit in a different spot. You will catch that wall and you'll tank slap that thing, won't you, Adam?
Yeah, and Wrecker has quite a bit of nose damage on his car right now.
Wow, that is so unfortunate. Adam Wrecker looking so strong, as was Williams. Things have changed, though. Bryce Reiner now being stalked by the 5. Can the 5 hang on? I mean, these guys are in their pit window. We expect pit stops right away. 37 laps remaining. Looks like fuel mileage not that much of a concern.
Yeah, one of the first guys that pitted was Paul K. Travis. He's on fresh tires getting ready to pass by Claus and those guys right now.
Okay, so Paul K up on the high side. He is coming through in a hurry.
We got
He is
Ratliff
well
and
behind
Claus coming
though.
in.
So Greg Ratliff and Claus Williams and Jason Jackson hit pit road. This is a great decision by them. I mean, Baron Labosco preaches first in, so we'll see how it works out for these guys.
Yeah, we'll see if Bryce Reiner comes in on this time to.
Well, let's hop on board with him here and see if we can catch him coming in. Here he comes, down on the low side. He takes it down off the track, right at those 3 dots. Pretty solid entrance there. So that's going to hand it over to James Aber, your new race leader. How about that? Ward and Bartel battling for second. Ward rips the high side. He'll come around. He's looking to get around Aber, but nowhere to go. Oh, and he takes to the bottom, but so does Aber with the block. He takes that air off him, and he takes off after that. Now he heads to pit road, and he's sliding. Pretty aggressive here by both Ward and Aber. Great entrances.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
Really impressive by them. We got others. Everybody's coming into pit road right now. There's Lester going in.
It gives the lead over to TJ now. TJ is out front.
TJ Bartel. TJ loves the long pit stop instead of the short pitting. So we'll see if it pays off. He's in now. And he is loose. He hangs on to it. My goodness, it looks treacherous getting onto pit road. Ricky Williams takes the lead.
Definitely didn't clean the edge of pit road off for him.
Now, we've seen this from Ricky Williams time and time again. He'll stay out longer than everybody else. One of these times, he's going to catch a caution and put this field a lap down at him.
Yeah, I never say never to something like that because it's definitely possible.
Oh, it will happen. It's a matter of time. Bartel remains on pit road. Here's Williams, who got out in front of Reiner. So that 1 lap earlier paid off for Claus Williams. He reassumes the lead as Ricky Williams is on pit road now. Reiner rocking the bottom, which I like early in the run. Trying to save a little tire here for later on. About 33 laps remaining. The 16 leading Reiner. Wrecker still in third, surviving that contact he had. Aber falls into 4th, and now Jeff Ward up 20 spots into 5th position. Ripka in 6th. You got Tony Ratliff, Jason Jackson, TJ Bartell, and Rachel Hunt in your top 10.
Well, you notice one car that was up here, he's not running for the front right now. What happened to Greg Ratliff?
Wow, great observation. What did happen to Greg Ratliff? I'm going to assume he got some kind of penalty or a bad pit stop. Very, very odd to see Greg back here right now. I mean, there is no chance from 16th, is there, Adam, if we go green?
No, I think he must have gotten a speeding penalty, is what I'm thinking, to fall that far back from the front.
I mean, I think it might even be worse if he had a speeding penalty than where he is. But yeah, something definitely happened to Greg. Very unfortunate there. Just looking through my messages, not seeing what occurred with him, so we don't have that right now. Right now, Williams and Reiner battling it out. Record's still lurking. Tony Ratliff has come on to pit road, or no, he's just having connection issues. He's sparking all over the place. So internet connection's always a problem on iRacing, and anything where you're trying to be online, doing things with people. So Tony is seemingly okay now. We're settling in here now for the last 30 laps, Adam. I think things are going to change here. Williams and Reiner are up here, but others are coming. There's Ward. Ward has taken to the lead of this group. He's got Ripka behind him, along with TJ Bartell. And how about Jason Jackson? Haven't even mentioned him tonight, to my knowledge. The 87 currently up 11 spots into 8th.
I think it was, after doing a little investigating, I think it was a double whammy for the 5. He blew his pit stall, and I think he had a speeding penalty on top of that.
Well, there you go. Very unfortunate for the 5. We know in this league, I mean, every mistake's going to be magnified, isn't it?
Oh, man, especially being a top driver like the big dog. I mean, the smallest mistake can put you behind 10 seconds in a blink of an eye.
So Bartell and Ripka battling back here for 7th. And what's surprising me is Bartell is rocking the bottom, and he looks like he's making it work down here. So he does have fresher tire. But
yeah, that's exactly what I was getting ready to say. TJ made, the last pit stop, and so he does have the freshest tires, but I thought he would have fell back a little bit further than what he did, and he hasn't. He's actually making some good ground right now.
Yeah, he stayed out 2 or 3 laps longer, but managed to not, get the penalty as much. And it seems like off of 4, he can get off that corner a lot better than 2. So he's got to get clear of Ripka here sooner than later.
Yeah, I see that, just looking at the numbers, he's a little bit quicker than our leader right now. He just needs to, maintain what he's got and get around Ripka and come on up here and start playing with the big guys.
He's got his work cut out for him. Ripka, not going to be an easy pass. In front of him, you got Ward, who's worked his way up to 5th now, up 21 spots. A-Bear, who's in 4th. And, we've been calling A-Bear's name more and more lately. The 25 seemingly has got it figured out. Wrecker holding on to 3rd after the contact he was involved with, and then it's back to Reiner and Williams. Williams has opened up about 8 car lengths here back to Reiner.
And like you said before, giving a shout out to Tony and Tom, Lester, and Rachel Hunt. They're sticking around this top 10, having a real good race right now in this mid-pack.
Let's get a look in on them here. You see the 78, that's Fred Lester right there. There's Rachel Hunt right behind. Tony Ratliff is down on the bottom in front of Lester, and this is where one of those things where he's got to make this pass or he'll lose a spot. You got Edward Kane. We don't talk a lot about Edward, the 21 machine. A nice run. He's up 9 spots into 12th. Right behind him, Whiting's up 16. And don't sleep on Rincon. He's up 14 spots into 16th.
Yeah, those guys have had a phenomenal night as far as consistency.
Yeah, they've really picked up some spots. There we go, back up front. You see Reiner still coming from the bottom to the high side, trying to save something for later. We're down to 22 laps, though. Later is now, Adam.
Absolutely, and what I've been impressed with, and you were just touching on it, Hebert is really putting together a really smooth but good run. He's knocked it down to 2.3 seconds. But I keep watching him because he keeps knocking the 10th off here, 10th off there. And, I mean, he's just chipping away. And I think he might be one to watch here at the end of this race.
That's a good call. I mean, his times are showing it. He is faster than the leader, as is Jeff Ward. But Ward's a little further back, him and Ripka and a few others. I mean, I don't know if they can get all the way up there. But Hebert, definitely someone to watch here in the waning laps of this event. Record third. We go back up to the front. Now, Reiner is closing in on the 16. The trouble we see is, how do you pass? Last time there was no way around except for a mistake, Adam. And that's kind of Kansas, isn't it? You got to wait for a mistake.
Yeah, I think, and if I was Bryce right now, I would ride. We've already seen Claus make a mistake, and it cost him the lead at the end of the run. I think if you just put a little bit of pressure on Claus, maybe he will make the mistake, and if he does, since he's up against the wall, that's going to pay dividends if he could just wait, time it out perfectly, drive right around him.
Yeah, well, you know, that's my go-to move, Adam, is like, oh, you don't like this? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do then. All right, we're going to get all over your bumper and try and push you down into the corner.
Absolutely. I mean, that intimidation is priceless when it comes down to the end of the race. I mean, and he's definitely pouring that on there. And each lap I see, like right at the exit of 4, you see that slight wiggle, and I'm seeing Claus's wheel just twitch a little bit. So I know he's pushing the car pretty hard to keep out in front of Bryce.
Well, let's hop on board with Claus Williams here and just see what we can figure out here. Bit of a shallow entry for the high side, but allows him to carry a little speed to the center. Car rotates. I mean, it's looking real smooth up here. I'm not seeing a whole lot of movement out of that wheel, Adam.
Yeah, the prior lap was when he had the big wiggle on the exit. It shimmied the back end.
Oh, no
like
doubt.
He was shaking a towel or whatnot.
I'm just saying in general, I'm surprised. He's not putting a whole lot of turn into this machine. We look on Reiner now.
I see 4 more attempts has been knocked off from Hebert, and I also see that Jeff is picking up the pace quite a bit as well.
All right, so 17 to go. Everybody's starting to concertina back up together. Not quite, though. I mean, there's a big gap from our front 2 to our next 2 in Wrecker and Hebert. But Hebert ripping the high side on Wrecker. He's looking to get some big momentum there. And he's all over him. Oh, my goodness. That was 2 guys chasing down the track there. Almost got together. This time, there goes Hebert on the high side. He's going to go right around Adam Wrecker. So put James Hebert now up to 3rd position. Does he have the time, Adam?
Yeah, I think he does, because what I'm seeing out of the front 2, Claus is doing more mirror driving right now instead of looking forward, and that's allowing Hebert, and I'm wondering if Adam Wrecker might be saving just a slight bit of tire. But, 10 laps is definitely doable to catch these guys.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's saving anything at this part other than maybe their position. Wrecker may be looking to hold on to fourth or something, but I think everybody giving her. Bear this time by, he was a hundredth faster than our leader. Let's check for the next lap here. I mean, a hundredth is not going to get it done, Adam.
No, I mean, but if these two guys up front, and you know this as well as I do, if Bryce sticks his fender up there, pulls claws back, game on. That'll be the race.
I mean, and that's what Bear is doing, right, Adam? I mean, he's just trying to get in position so that when they battle, he can get right in it.
I think he's going to be there, and there's a heck of a move that Bryce just took the draft, and he's going to send it to try to do a solid job, but he's not going to be able to finish it off in the corner, I don't think.
Yeah, not quite. A hell of a move, though. He faked high, took a little draft, and went low. He's now even, heading down into one. The battle for the lead. Reiner versus Williams. Williams sends it in pretty hard on the high side.
But look what that did for Bear. That was 4/10 that lap by itself.
Absolutely. This is exactly what you were talking about, Adam. Bear is going to be in the picture sooner than later if these two keep it up.
Basically, they lost a
little wiggle there. They almost came together. Shades of what happened to Sheffield and Williams.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, Bear's just licking it, buddy. He's licking them chops big time.
So the Bulldog giving the advice in here. He's done this many times, folks. KG vet Adam Newton in the booth tonight. You've been in this spot before, haven't you, Adam?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of James right now.
All right, we hop on board with James Bear. He's looking forward at the two leaders, trying to figure out who's out front. Reiner keeps sticking it in there, but Claus so good. I'm telling you, on entry on the high side, I don't think anybody's better. Claus holds him off again, and Bear is now a part of this group.
Look in the mirror, because here comes Jeff Ward and Adam Wrecker. They have made up a second in the last 2 laps.
But they're going side by side here, so it looks like Ward's going to prevail. Here comes Ward. 9 laps remaining. My goodness, what's going to happen? Nobody knows.
We might get a photo finish out of this, Dean. Come on, baby. Let's do it.
Likely we will. George Leal's checking in from South Carolina. Always good to see you here, George. I hope everything's going well. Really happy to hear what you're doing down there.
And you know that the RGR Racing League is not there. We've had photo finishes in this league. So I think the way this is setting up, it could be another one.
Well, it's like I say, Adam, anything can and will happen here at RGR Racing. Williams, your leader. He's done everything right. He made one boo-boo, and it cost him, but that was earlier in the race. Since then, he learned his lessons. Now, they're in a line. Williams, Reiner, Bear. Who's going to win? Can Ward get up here and surprise people?
Oh, man, I'm just loving what I'm seeing out of
Reiner trying to get to the high side, Adam. This is what I like to do. He couldn't quite get there.
He left the door open.
And Williams into the wall. Here comes Reiner. Williams slammed the wall. Can he get anything power down to those tires? Reiner on the inside.
Man, this is getting crazy. It is really insane.
Williams ripping the high side. He's going to get there. The 14 will have to lift a little bit. They're backside. Here goes Bear. 3 wide down to the bottom. Wow, no doing down there for the 25. But Reiner slides up. Unbelievable how he got there. I don't know how that happened. Bryce Reiner out front.
And here comes Ward. Ward is pouring on the coals big time.
6 to go. Bryce Reiner has taken the lead. Bear along with Williams side by side, almost contact. And there goes Bear sliding up the track. He corrects down the track through the grass. He's coming back up. Ward misses him. Holy
Wow,
cow!
what a save. What a save.
Ward is still in it, barely. 5 to go. Williams riding the paint off the wall, but Bryce Reiner escaping. He worked his machine. He saved his tire. He's up 11 spots. He's your race leader. Coming down to 4 to go for Bryce Reiner.
Yeah, he timed that perfectly. I mean, and now look, Ward's trying to make a move on Williams right now at the line.
So Ward slips by Claus Williams. Is it too little, too late? We're coming down to 3 to go. I don't think Ward can get up here. He is a second back from Bryce Reiner.
No, I knew that he was saving some tire. I didn't expect it to come on that quick. I really didn't.
Oh no, and Ward is in the wall. And he's through the grass. Jeff Ward into the grass. It's over for him. He's coming back on the track. Watch out.
And look who's sneaking in the picture. Here comes TJ, baby. Yeah, get it, boy.
TJ Bartell making moves. Hebert's loose off the corner. Bryce Reiner continues to lead, but the battle for second and third heating up. TJ Bartell makes a move. He goes down to the bottom underneath the 25. Hebert holds her steady this time, regains his spot.
I think they've actually probably burnt the tires off the front because Bryce is checked out. And it looks like Claus is really, really struggling center off right now.
There's no doubt about it. Bryce did a better job. He stayed on the bottom for 10, 20 laps even, and that helped him maintain that vehicle. I think TJ did the same. He's just a little further back, but now he comes to the bottom underneath Hebert. 2 to go for Bryce Reiner. Claus Williams into the wall again. Here comes Hebert. Here comes Bartell. Final lap. 1 to go. We stay with this battle. Bryce Reiner out in front of it. Battle is for second. And Hebert is still loose. Williams in the wall, and they hit TJ. TJ down to the inside, holds on. Bryce Reiner down through 3, through 4, the 14. Bryce Reiner with a magnificent victory here at Kansas. For second, it'll be Hebert, Williams, and Ward. Wrecker hangs on to 5th. You got Ripka, Tony Ratliff, Edward Kane with a great finish, Hunt and Jackson, the other finishers. Holy cow, Adam.
Yeah, that was a huge finish. I hate that for TJ. It looked like he was going to have probably the biggest comeback of the race, and it just looked like he got loose once Claus got in the wall right there.
I'm not sure that was TJ got loose, or I think they just hit him, but hard to say. Nonetheless, how about Bryce Reiner out here?
Yeah, that was a really good performance from Bryce, coming from the back to the front and waiting methodically to do his pass for the win. That was impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it was a well thought out race, right? He raced, like I said, on the bottom, was patient. That's something that Kansas will teach you, isn't it, Adam? Patience?
Oh, absolutely.
He's doing some donuts here. I don't know, Bryce. We got a dog walking competition. He's maybe not getting involved in that. He's so damn happy, Adam. He's just happy to be out there in victory lane.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. What a thrilling finish. Unbelievable action here at the RGR Racing League and their Xfinity Series. Right now, let's take a short commercial break. We'll come back. We'll get some racing. Back here at Kansas, where we've, I think, caught our breath here, Adam. That was incredible stuff. Reiner waited, he pounced with about 10 to go. Kind of took command, but that battle for a second was insane.
Yeah, that was some very, very good racing. That's a tough break for TJ. I mean, I know he would have had a great finish, but I mean, that was very entertaining for sure.
Yeah, I mean, TJ, there's always someone who's got the bum end of the stick, so to speak, and TJ did. He'll finish in 12th. We counted out the top 10. It was Hunt and Jackson there at the back end of the top 10. But how about Fred Lester back in 11th? Great run for him. Bartel finished 12th. Yeah, Greg Ratliff, obvious problems on pit road. Very unfortunate for the 5. He'll finish 13th. Whiting in 14th. It's Knight, Racone, Williams, Whitford, Gilly, and Musial in the top 20 here tonight. You think about some of these guys out here, Jason Spear, Brandon Sheffield, and a few others that it wasn't their night tonight, Adam.
Yeah, looking at Brian Helm and Eric Beller having a rough night, and
Yeah,
Paul
Beller.
Travis, and Jason Ratliff, he had a good run going. He finished one lap down, and yeah, it's tough to make. When you don't have cautions, it's really tough to get back in the race.
It certainly is tough out there, and someone who toughed it out all night. That is Claus Williams in the 16. Claus, third place. Might be 2 spots below what you wanted, boy, but you fought hard to hang on to this third place, didn't you?
Absolutely. I mean, I hit the wall, I think, at least a dozen times, if not once. I mean, I was just running as hard as I could, and actually, I had the best tire wear of the night that last run. But I still they saved tires way better than I did, I guess. And man, they were just fast.
Well, I think it's just bottom versus top. You're running a lot of high line, which made you fast. Claus, you were doing great out there. I want to ask you about that a little bit because what I noticed about your high line is that you seem to enter it farther and harder than anybody that I've seen and do it very well. What's the secret to your high line success here?
I don't know. I drive it in actually just a little bit off the wall and let it drift up to the wall, and just once it got to the wall, I just flatted out all the way around the corner. And when I flatted out, when I hit it wide open, it would loosen the car up just enough to make it turn through the corner.
Well, you did a great job. Now we talk a little bit about these battles, man. It was just incredible stuff. You're gonna get loose riding late in these runs. You did a couple of times. It brought guys like A Bear to your inside earlier on. I think it was Sheffield and stuff. And just talk about how hard it is to just lap after lap do that, especially when you get maybe one or even two cars underneath you at times.
Well, it's the high lines. What's nice about the high line, you just can run your high line and stay against the wall. They on the bottom have a little bit more work to do to try to either get by you or not drift up into you. Like when Brandon got on top of me, I drifted up and I got in front of him, but I hit the wall and came off the wall and clipped him. I hate it for Brandon.
Now, something else we've seen, Claus. I mean, earlier on, Reiner looked like he was trying to maybe squeak by you on the high side going into one, coming across the start finish line. Were you aware of that? Were you trying to protect that high line?
Absolutely. I knew if he got on the high side of me, he was going to get by me because at that point, my tires were so shot, I knew I couldn't hold the bottom. And so I kept running up higher and higher, trying to keep him from forcing him to take the bottom. But he finally was able to get his nose on the outside of me.
Well, man, it was a thrilling effort. You finished third here tonight. Look forward now to Daga. What do you think? Your thoughts on heading down to Talladega?
It's a fun race. It's just a lot of bumper to bumper driving.
Absolutely. We expect you to be up there, Claus. I'm glad you got your third place finish. Was rooting for you to get the win here tonight, if I may say so. But a great job, Claus. Thrilling race. Congrats on third. We'll turn the mic over to you, brother.
I just want to thank you guys for broadcasting this race, and thanks Todd and George that run this every week, and Greg also. So I love coming here every weekend and racing with these guys.
All right, Adam, that's the number 16, third place finisher, Claus Williams.
Well, I got the 25 car, James Airbear down here at Pit Road. Dean, how was your race tonight, James?
Oh, it was excellent. I mean, definitely overdrove the car that first run and really learned something from the people around me. So the second run, just tried to make sure to just kind of conserve a bit and then kind of get a lap count in my head as to when I had to move to that high side and just figured out that high side. Thankfully, I run it pretty often, so I kind of already know how to run it. But yeah, kind of a shame that I couldn't get past Claus there faster. I definitely think I could have had that win. But yeah, hopefully we put on a good show for you guys, man. That was some good hard racing, and yeah, it's a good race. Good to be back. P2. Hopefully we can do one better next time.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you about, man, because I kept my eye on you, and I said, man, James is licking his chops right now. And you started just clicking off lap after lap and lap. What was going through your mind when you caught up to those two guys and you were like, did you say, here's my chance, or did you save a little bit and was waiting for the mistake so you could pounce on them?
Yeah, so about lap 20 there, that was when I knew I had to move to the high side because that's where the speed went. That's just the way the track was changing. And as I was catching them, I was looking at that lap counter, and it was just getting slower, or the gap was getting smaller, and cars obviously were getting bigger in my windshield there. Yeah, and then I was like, when I started catching them, I knew that was a shot for a good victory. So I just started saving a bit, but yeah, and then about with 10 to go, it's like, all right, we gotta go, we gotta do something here, and then just a little bit of bumper cars there at the end, unfortunately, but that's good racing right there. I'm happy.
Well, James, that was a hell of an exciting finish, man, and congrats on your finish tonight. Who would you like to thank for your race, man?
Definitely big shout out to Lance. He's always been a solid teammate, just with discussing and helping me out to run better in these races. Big shout out to Todd, puts this league together. All the sponsors that are aboard, ACS. And big shout out to Bryce, first win, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, thanks.
Well, right. Dean, I'll turn it over to you, man.
Yes, sir. That was the 25, James Hebert, and his second place finish. We turn our attention to, yes, I believe so, first time winner, the 14, Bryce Reiner. Congratulations, Bryce.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you.
Incredible run, Bryce. We were watching you, and we were thinking, at least I was, you're running the bottom a lot, and I was thinking, this is going to pay off. Is this what you were thinking?
Exactly. At the start of the race, I started with the bottom and held it maybe 15, 20 laps before that first caution came out. And the bottom worked really, really good for me and my car. I could wrap it really well, even within 20, 30 laps on the tires. I could still wrap it pretty well and get a good drive off. You just have to feather the throttle, and that's what I did. But top lane came in after, those 20 laps. And before that first caution, that's where I really charged up to the lead. And that's where I got the lead. Because I was behind Ripka, and I was just kind of sitting there and stalling and making sure, is this the right time to do it? And that's what I did. And then caution came out, and then, yeah.
Well, caution came late. Caution or pits. No, it was green flag stop. So, my apologies. But we had Claus come out in front of you. How concerned were you? Like, you had I think 1 or 2 lap tire advantage. You were running the low line, thinking I'm going to be better here at the end. I mean, just how hard was it to keep your patience, Bryce?
That's a really good question, Dean. When I first came out of the pits, I had, going into 3 and 4, I had the lead, and then obviously his momentum carries over into 3 and 4. Off the turn, he gets the lead. So it wasn't by much, but I knew I was there. So all I had to do was kind of lock in, focus in again, keep running the bottom like I did before. At the start of the race, and just hope that he either messes up or he runs that top so many times where your tires maybe gone by the time I get to you or I choose to run the top. So that was my method. That was my plan to make sure I keep my tires under me and make sure they're warm enough so that when I get to the top, I'm not super tight or super loose where I just spin the car or burn up my tires too much where then I can't fight him.
Well, you talk about choosing when to choose to run the top. We talked to Claus about this. It looked like you had tried a couple of times around the start finish line to kind of get position on the high side. From certain Kramer angles, it looked like you had it, but that door kept getting closed. Were you trying to maybe stick it on the outside of them there?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely was for sure. When I would get a good run um, from the high lane, and then I would duck down under him because being behind him throughout the whole entire corner off the exit got my car tight, so I would have to let off the gas. So when I would run up high and then middle of the corner dive down, that's where I would get my run. And so when I had a couple runs, I tried it. Obviously, he closed it. Good on him. That's racing. That's what you have to do, especially going for the win. Um, he raced an awesome race. Love racing with him. But yeah, coming to that one time I got to his outside and he hit the wall, I believe, coming out of two. That's where I got my fender there, I believe. And then I think he second guessed himself on closing the door, and then I knew I was going to back off, and then I think he had just too much momentum and he got into the wall, and that's where I tried to take over.
All right, and you had Abe Air in there stalking both of you. You're
Yep.
almost three wide. How concerned were you? Like, hey, I might have waited too long to make my move here. You got Abe Air coming. Ward was coming as well. He got bounced to the grass as well. But man, it was getting a little dicey there for a few minutes.
Yes, yes, it was. That was great racing, regardless of the outcome. If I didn't win, that was great racing. But I think I should have waited longer. I know that sounds kind of weird to say, especially around Kansas and how much time you need to gain to actually get to his rear, or decide which lane you're going to pick and try to pass him. I uh, I definitely done it too early because then, within 5 laps of us being side by side, James is right there. So it was kind of difficult to judge when to go up, when to not. Um, but then I snuck right back in there and took the high side away and just kind of followed him again.
Yeah, well, I don't think there's any second guessing necessary, Bryce. You're in the one spot where everybody wants to be. That's victory lane. This is your first one. I'm sure there'll be more. Congratulations, Bryce. A thrilling victory. Great job, brother. Can't wait to see what you do at Daga. We'll turn the mic over to you. Anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you got? You go right ahead.
Thank you, Dean. Adam, I see you're in the broadcast. I hope you had a good race if you raced. If not, hope you had a fun watching it. You guys do a phenomenal job broadcasting it. Todd, Tony, I think, Lance, everyone who's admin on this league does a tremendous job. It's just fun, hard racing, and it gets me every time. I always look forward to Sundays, especially tracks that I like. Also, want to give a shout out to Digital Sim Sports, Martin PC, um, Klaus, James, Jeff, all gave me a run for my money, and I also gave them the run for the money, and I took the lead and never looked back. So proud of me, proud of my guys, and hopefully we go on to Dega and I don't know, pull out a win there. Who knows?
I love it, Brace. Adam, that's Brace Reiner, winner out
Congratulations,
there,
man.
and he's proud of me. I love that. I mean,
Well,
it's hard work out here, ain't it?
it is, and to be proud of you that's a accomplishment. And
So,
by the way, Barron sends his best. He's not wearing any underwear tonight.
oh my goodness. He's letting it all hang out watching Wind Tunnel TV. You should all be doing that. You see these thrilling races. That was a lot of fun, Adam. I enjoyed my time up here. I'll give you final thoughts on tonight.
Yeah, I thought it was a great race, especially with Bryce and the guys, there was some tough luck for some guys, but I hope we put on a good show and coming out the car to do this with you. Thank you for allowing me to do that, and continue thoughts with the guys helping with the hurricane victims. And if you get a chance to donate just anything, please stop by and think about the people in Virginia and Tennessee and North Carolina right now. Keep them in your thoughts and prayers.
Awesome. Great job there, Adam, with the broadcast and with these little segments. I really appreciate it. I know the people do too. But for us, we're going to move on here. That's going to wrap it up here from Kansas. We can't wait to do the next one. I think we'll be at Talladega with the RGR Winston Xfinity Series. But for myself, Dean Doucette, for Mr. Adam, the Bulldog Newton, that's going to wrap it up here, and we'll see you right here next time on Wind Tunnel TV.